let's run it. Charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hands strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready. We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we glow. Hands to the sky like let's get paid. Chase big goals, not just upgrades. GM goal, energy all day. Smile up, we're built this way. No fear, just flips and vibes. Turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rides. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. Oh, 3 a.m. we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning, crypto. Press play. Wake up, smile, send it.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard out what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've got no headlines. We were seeing a little bit of moves in the market yesterday. A little bit of upside, a little bit of downside, a little bit back towards the upside. So we're going to take a look at some charts today. If you've got anything you want me to take a look at, go ahead and throw that in the chat nice and early, and we will get to that in a little bit. But before we get to all of those charts and what we've been seeing going on this morning, we've got quite a bit to go over so that we know what to expect. So let's get that stock heat map pulled up and see what's going on. We've got Apple sitting to the upside this morning, 0.44%. We've got Nvidia down 0.38%. It is continuing on some sell-off. It started at the beginning of the week, and I don't expect that to slow down anytime soon. We've got a whole bunch more companies buying into Google, so looking like Nvidia's got a little bit of competition for now. We got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.08%, Amazon up 0.75%, Eli Lilly sitting up 0.23%. We've got ExxonMobil down 0.19%, Tesla sitting up 1.37 this morning, P&G up 0.14%. We've got Microsoft up 0.48%. Google, no surprise, still looking a little bit green as we saw some more buying pressure coming on in. And we've got Meta sitting up 1.58. The crypto side of things looking a little bit different. Let's get those crypto bubbles pulled on up. That's the liquidation heat map. Wrong tab there. Here we go. We've got these crypto bubbles looking quite green for now. On the daily, we are seeing just a little bit of selling pressure stepping on in on Bitcoin. We are down 0.4%, looking a little bit green on the hourly though. Ethereum up 0.7%. We've got XRP down 1.1. We've got BNB sitting up 0.7. We've got Solana up 0.3%, Tron up 1.1%, Dogecoin sitting up 0.8%. We've got Cardano with no change on the board, but looking a little bit red on the hourly. We've got Bitcoin Cash up 2.5%, Hyperliquid taking 2 spots in the market cap, sitting up 3.7%. Chainlink lost one of those spots in the market cap, sitting up 0.4%, looking a little red on the hourly. We've got Leo token up 0.3%, also losing a spot in the market cap there. We've got Stellar Lumens up 0.6%, Litecoin up 0.5%, and HBAR with no change on the board, but looking a little bit red on the hourly. Our fear and greed meters haven't been changing a whole lot. No surprise, we're still in extreme fear, both on the stock side and on the crypto side as well. Down 5 points from yesterday, sitting at 15 for crypto. Liquidation heat map not loading there. Let's give it a little bit of refresh, see if it loads. There we go. 24-hour, we've got quite a bit of liquidity directly towards the upside. We've been talking about the level as well. That's at 88,200. That is the bottom side of that fair value gap. We don't seem to be able to hold. We will see if we can get back into that area and really grab up some of that liquidity today. We don't really have a whole lot of data that could push us in either direction. Just durable goods orders today. Not really anything extremely heavy. And then, the rest of the week, we've got Thanksgiving here. So markets are going to be closed for Thursday. We do have a little bit of liquidity towards the downside as well. Nothing quite as hot as the top side though. That's ranging from about 86,200 all the way down to about 85,600. We'll kind of have to see if we continue this little bit of a downtrend, grab up that bottom side, or if we start finding that money flow coming on in on the shorter term time frame that gives us that push towards the fair value gap we keep calling out. Taking a look at this 3-day, we've still got quite a bit of liquidity towards the upside there as well. We will kind of have to see if we can start making our way above 90,000. That is an area we have talked about as well, and we will see if we can get that money flow all over again. For now, we seem to just be ranging sideways, leaving a lot of liquidity towards the downside and leaving a lot of liquidity towards the upside as well. We will just have to see if we can get some money flow to push us one direction or another for now. Let's get over to that Bitcoin chart. Say good morning to the people in the chat. I did see Solana requested, so let me get that one on the list. I had a stock to go over that I've been calling out for a while, and it got a 40% move towards the upside. I see Offshore Miner in the house. Good morning to you. We've got Stefan Farmer 504 in here. Good morning to you. You asked for some Solana, so got that one on the list. Not seeing a whole lot of requests just yet. We've got a lot of lurkers in the background this morning, so good morning to all of you. And we've got Jesse Gluck first in the chat, like always. Good morning, sir. We are seeing quite a sell-off that has now started to cool off on the weekly. We have got the first signs here on our weekly chart that we might be seeing a little bottoming action. This candle has been seeing a little bit of resistance at that fair value gap. Let's get this zoomed in so you can see it just a little bit better there. There we go. There's that fair value gap. That is our resistance for now. We were looking for that to close, and we were trying to see if we can hold our 382 on our fib retracements here. We did get a little bit of a move below it on some wicking action, and then we pulled immediately back towards the top side this week. But Here on our prime oscillator, we are seeing our first oversold signals. We've had the True 7 clipping out for a while. The only thing we're really lacking is some money flow. So we will see going in to the rest of this week if we can get a little bit of some money flow. America might be shut down for the TradFi side of things, but you've still got the rest of the world that's going to be doing some trading here. So might get a little bit of some buying pressure to kind of push things back up towards the upside here. We do have some resistance all the way up at 90,200. That's also where all of our liquidity is sitting as well. So kind of keep your eye on that area if we start to get back towards that fair value gap. We do have some signs here on the daily as well. We've been waiting for this cross of the MACD on the bottom side and still haven't got it here. We are ranging just a little bit sideways for now as we started to see a little rejection off of that fair value gap bottom. You can see we got that nice little wick into it and then it pulled back below it, started to reject off of that. We're waiting to see if we can make a higher low on our shorter term time frame here. You are switching from red to green here on the prime oscillator. Again, the only thing that's lacking is some buying pressure. We've had quite the sell-off. We have seen a little bit of a slowdown on that here. So really at a point where we could get that last little push towards the upside that gives people some opportunities to get out that didn't get out already. So we are looking for that. We could range a little bit sideways. We've done this plenty of times in our bull markets. Once we start going towards the bottom, we kind of halt at a certain point, range a little bit sideways, and then get that last little move towards the upside that gives some people the chance to really sell off, and then we continue on towards the downside with some strength. So we are looking like we found a nice little bottoming area. We will have to see if we get a little bit of a range sideways here, or if we get a nice little move towards the upside and then really continue towards the downside. I am still waiting for a little bit of money flow here on the daily. We will have to zoom this on in. Take a look at that 4 hour. 4 hour has been ranging below our fair value gap bottom and above our 382 here. So nice little range that we found. We have been getting a little bit of some cool off here on the 4 hour, just waiting on some money flow. As you can see, this selling pressure here on the 4 hour, let's get this pulled up a little bit bigger, has slowed up quite a bit. We got this nice little move towards the downside here. Heavy selling pressure. We saw a little bit of a slow up on it before we really got that next leg towards the downside there. Kind of at that point where we could either get that next move kind of down, or we can get that nice move back above our zero and really see a little bit of buying pressure stepping on in. We could also just range a little bit above and below that and move a little bit sideways here in our continued range. We've done that for several weeks in the bear market before, so really waiting to see how this money flow treats Bitcoin, if we're going to range or if we're going to continue to move very quickly back to the downside after a nice little grab of some upside liquidity here in our range below the higher fair value gap that we were talking about at 97,000, and then continue on down. So we do have a few options to kind of keep our eyes on here. I would like to see us continue to hold our 382 as support. That is 84,200. Kind of keep your eye on that range. We have failed to get above 88,600 with any kind of strength. So looking like that's our top for now, and our bottom's down at 84. We'll kind of have to see what kind of money flow we get in this range, because if we continue to not get any buying pressure, but really see that slow up of our selling pressure, that's going to send us in the sideways range. We do have the nice cool off here on the hourly. We've got a little bit of a hidden divergence. We will see if that plays out any. We have been holding 86 86,200 this morning. As we continue with a little bit of a downtrend here, we will kind of have to see if we can see this money flow coming on in here on the hourly. We are slightly in the red. We didn't get too heavily in that buying pressure yesterday. So nice little cool off as we just range sideways below that fair value gap. Does give you the potential to try to get that punch through it if you get some nice money flow. We are not looking too heavy on that selling pressure, and we're ranging quite sideways here on both the MACD and the prime oscillator. So nice little cool off here, really looking for that potential higher low on that prime oscillator, unless you continue to see that sell pressure stepping on in, really break below that 86,200. If you do break below that, looking back to 84, that 84,200 might be the move to kind of watch for there. Let's take a look at that 15-minute, see what the morning is bringing our way here. As you can see, continued sideways range. As you're moving on in, you don't really see too much volatility here on our prime oscillator or MACD, as you've really consolidated these waves here. Really waiting to see if we can get some money flow in one direction or another, or if things are just going to be a little bit boring today. You know, we did get a nice little move towards the upside yesterday, continued back down towards the downside, and really ranged here. We'll kind of have to see if we continue with these moves, maybe get some slight deviations back down to our support at 84, and then some deviations back up towards the top side there. 16-minute green dot, 15-minute, we do have 2 dots down here, but they didn't really do a whole lot, which is part of what we're talking about. We're not really seeing any heavy selling pressure. We're also not seeing any heavy buying pressure. This is something we've seen before in our cycles. Let's get this zoomed on out. Get the weekly pulled on up. Get this over to back on our last cycle here. As you can see, before we got some movements back towards the upside here, we really saw a little bit of ranging. This is something that we could expect in this area before we get a nice little push towards the upside there. Let's get this zoomed on in here so we can see that just a little bit better. There, well, did that take it all the way back to the beginning? Why? I wanted to look back there. Let's get that moved back. We can just zoom it on in there. There we go. That's a little bit better. As you can see, we've done this over and over. Nice little sideways range here. We will see if we continue with this. As you can see here on the daily, several weeks worth of sideways movements before we get that nice little liquidity grab towards the downside to get that last little liquidity grab towards the upside. We did it also after we made that secondary all-time high. Nice little sideways range here. And then you get that nice little liquidity grab towards the downside, liquidity grab towards the upside, and then continue on towards the downside there. So potential to do that here all over again. We will just kind of have to see if some data pushes us one way or another. We did call out gold yesterday. Gold got pretty much exactly towards our resistance levels, and we're trying to break above it right now. Nice little movement above that midline of our fair value gap. That was some resistance that pushed us back down towards our support, and we're really waiting to see if we can get some continuation here. Hourly is looking quite interesting. You're starting to see that pickup of some money flow. You do have one bearish divergence that has printed, but that doesn't mean you can't continue towards the upside here, really get back to the top side of this old fair value gap from back at the beginning of November. You see some resistance at the top of that. That's $44,190. What indicator is that on the bottom? This is the prime oscillator from Chart Prime. It is a smooth RSI. It shows you your volume, your money flow. It has a combination trend line down at the bottom as well. Zooming on in. This lets you know when you're kind of see some bottoming action. Kind of hard to see it there, but you can see it up here. This is where you see a little bit of topping action, cools off. That's a combination of seven indicators to get that all combined to give you a little bit of data there. So a little bit easier than trying to have 7 indicators all together. Packs it up quite nicely. I really like the RSI, so I can find that momentum. Here on the hourly, you're pretty close to overheated all over again on gold. You did get a little bit of some cool off, not too unexpected as you got that nice little cool off as we found resistance. We're trying to get that next little leg up towards the upside here. Your prime oscillator switched from heavy red back to green here as you saw that money flow continue to come in. I would expect that continuation towards the upside just a little bit into today, potentially looking for that resistance to come in at 4,190, and then see if we can at least hold the midline here at 4,165. If you can't hold that midline of the fair value gap, seeing some stronger moves to the downside might be what we should look for there. We were talking about that move yesterday. We got that nice little short back to our one line on our fib extension levels, and then really got that strong move towards the upside there with the good data that we got yesterday. We were talking about that potential for a pump if we got some of that data and coming out good, and that's exactly what we got. We'll kind of have to see if we can get a little bit of continuation into today before we see the dead space for the holiday weekend. So definitely looking like the 15-minute could continue, or starting to look a little bit toppy there as well. So could see a little bit of sideways momentum here on top of that midline of our fair value gap here before you see New York open, and then really get that stronger continuation towards the upside and see if we find resistance all over again at the top side of that fair value gap. We had Solana requested, not seeing any other requests this morning, so go ahead, throw some in the chat for me. So we have some more things to look at this morning because we've got about 30 minutes left of the show. I did want to take a look at the Dixie, and then one stock that I've been calling out for a while now that got a 40% move towards the upside. So we did see some weakness coming on in on the Dixie. On the higher term time frames, we are still looking quite nice, holding our uptrend, getting a little bit of some cool off here. We do have a bearish divergence, so we will have to keep our eye on that. See if we come back down all the way to our golden pocket down here at 99.4. That is that area to kind of keep your eye on. We haven't got above it and really held it as some support for a long time. So if we can hold that as some support here, it would be nice to continue on towards the upside, but at the cost of probably crypto selling off a little bit harder and some of these stocks also selling off. So we'll kind of have to see if we continue to get that rotation into the dollar as people are waiting to see what happens with our rate decision and with the jobs data that we didn't get. We will also be getting a few other things that will be quite important as well, like inflation data. We haven't got an inflation data print in quite a while. We'll kind of have to see what is going on with that in December. Here on the hourly, you're trying to hold our old area of resistance as some support here. You got that nice little curvature back towards the upside, but you're starting to see that sideways momentum coming on in, not too unexpected as you have that divergence on the higher term time frame, and that's why we're looking for that golden pocket all over again. I would expect us to break that old resistance line and find it as some resistance all over again. 15-minute extremely overheated here as you ranged a little bit sideways. You got that bearish divergence there as well, a reversal signal, and that MACD is getting that nice little curvature back towards the downside there. So really going to have to see how that New York open goes, and if we see that rotation out of the dollar and back into some assets. It's kind of the trend that we've been watching since about the end of last week. We started to see just a little bit of money flow back into some of our traditional markets and out of some bonds, so keep your eye on that one. We do have a stock that we've been calling out for a while. I dropped it in the Discord. We had a list of automation and robotics companies. This was our number one pick here. This is SYM. They make robots for companies to use in their manufacturing processes. We were calling out $50 and about 62 cents for our buy zone. We got a 40% move towards the upside on yesterday's markets. We are very close to all-time highs again. We will kind of have to see. There is a CME gap that came in as some resistance. Let's get that drawn on up real quick. CME gap from 81.60. Nope, 81.74 all the way down to 77.67. So let's get that colored blue so we know it's that CME gap there that is still open. We have not done any testing on that since we were way up here at those all-time highs. We get that move into the CME gap, reject it off of our midline, and then continue towards the downside with some strength. Those are those moves we watch over and over again. If you can't get above that midline, continuing towards the downside with some strength is normally what you get. If you can get above that midline, you can normally continue towards the upside. We are back towards that CME gap, but looking just a little bit toppy on the hourly. Not too unexpected after a 40% move, so we are waiting to see if we at least hold our bottoms here. That's $73.07. Let's get that horizontal rate drawn on out for you. Down there, $73.12 there. That's the bottom of that hourly candle. We'll have to get this zoomed on out. Take a look at the daily here, because this daily still has plenty of room to run towards the upside. This is why we were calling out that $50 mark. It was a nice entry point, and we'll have to see if we can get that new all-time high here. We do have a little bit of resistance on the shorter term time frame at that CME gap. But the nice things that we're looking for here on the daily is that rapid move of the MACD back towards the upside here. Hasn't broken our indicator line just yet. Almost a no red candle here on the histogram. So really waiting to see if we switch from red to green here. Continue with some money flow coming on in. Prime oscillator extremely bottomed and heavy curvature back towards the upside. So potential to continue towards the upside here. If you continue to see that money flow coming on in, doesn't mean you don't get a short-term time frame pullback. $73.12 is looking like that nice area to really contend with. If you don't hold that, coming back in and testing this giant CME gap here would be the move to watch for. Let's get that pulled up on the daily time frame here. We will draw out that CME gap that is directly towards the downside, and then we'll get rid of that other CME gap because it's kind of played out. Let's get that deleted. A giant CME gap directly towards the downside. Plenty of bouncing points to kind of keep your eye on as well. That 73.12 is the first one. If we get a little bit of some cool off and some sell off after a 40% move, not too unexpected. We also have the 236 coming in at $68.18. That'd be that next point to really watch for some bouncing. If you are going to continue with the uptrend here, the area that you really need to hold going to be the midline of that CME gap, and that's $64.64. That'd be that area that really allows us to continue with the trend. We did see that CME gap directly towards the top side of us come in as some resistance, and we will have to see if that happens all over again here. Shorter shorter time frame, really seeing that slow up of money flow, volume slowed down as well, and looking extremely toppy on that 15-minute. Pre-market is opening up towards the downside, so we'll have to see if we get that continuation back down towards our support line at 73.12. That is also the top side of that CME gap there. Let's get it zoomed on in, and then we will just get rid of that line there. Oh, wrong one. Control Z. We want the line. Zoom that in. 73. Yep, there we go. So CME gap top is that area to kind of watch for some bouncing. Is 73.31. We'll see if that comes in as some support, or if we're gonna get some better cool off here with some harsher sell off and come back down to that 236 and $68.20 there. All right, let's see what's going on. Jesse talking about Ethereum. ETH below 2,900. We can take a look at that ETH chart. Apparently, K Diggity doesn't like ETH any better than Jesse does. So we're all of the same mind, and kind of F ETH, you know? Let's see what's going on with Ethereum. And then we can take a look at that Solana chart. Didn't have any other alt requests. So if you got some alt requests that you've been taking a look at, and you want some confirmations on what you're seeing there, you throw them on out, and we will take a look at that. Yeah, let's see what's going on the higher term time frame. That 15-minute looks a little bit iffy, but let's see if we got anything here on the higher term time frame to really let us know what's going on. It's looking like we're in that harsh little downtrend there. Let's see how many waves we've got. That 1, 2, 3. So potential for some bottoming here, a 3-wave correction. We'll kind of have to see if we hold our 382 on our fib extension levels. That's coming in at 2,751. We did see a little bit of some rejections at about $3,000. We'll kind of have to see if we get that continuation. Let's get some new horizontals drawn on out for our shorter term time frame though. As we are breaking below an area from way back. That was an area from back there. We'll kind of have to see. We are looking just a little bit bottomed here on the daily time frame. Not too unexpected after, what was that sell off there from from the highs back at 4,700 to our current price. Nice little 40% sell off. So potential for some bottoming action. I would like to see another little confirmation down there at about 2,740. That's that 382, as we are seeing just a little bit of some continuation on that money flow there. We are starting to see those bottoming indicators, as we do have a double bullish divergence. We've got a bottoming peak seeker, and we're really failing to get any kind of curvature towards the upside here. It is just more of a sideways range on the prime oscillator, the same way as it is on that MACD. Really getting that harsher cool off. We will see what's going on here on the 4-hour. 4-hour continuing to look a little bit toppy, but the nice thing there on the 4-hour is that little bit of a slow up on that selling pressure. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that nice little curvature back towards the upside with some money flow on the shorter term time frame. You are ranging just a little bit sideways on that MACD. You are trying to hold the highs from back here. That's 2,800 and about 87-ish dollars. You do have those very equal candle bodies as well. That's a little bit lower. That's 2,860. So nice little bounce zone to potentially keep our eyes on. That'd give us those very equal lows and the ability to sweep those equal highs. We'll kind of have to see. I would expect some liquidity down below our 382. especially since we got that nice little move towards the downside. Plenty of liquidity below us. We will kind of have to see if we get that continued sell pressure there, or if we're going to range sideways here on Ethereum as well. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at that 1 hour. I see Redman in the house this morning. Good morning to you. We got French Toaster in here as well. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. The nice thing here on the hourly, kind of like we were looking at some of these other assets, as you get this nice little sideways momentum here, you're getting a decent cool off on your prime oscillator and your MACD. You're not seeing any bottoming indicators just yet on that MACD or on that prime oscillator, but your MACD is starting to get that nice little sideways momentum. If you get it zoomed on out a little bit, getting that nice little sideways momentum there. You are still printing some red candles here on the histogram, here on the hourly. So looking for a little bit of some bottoming action around that 2,860 to see if we can get that better cool off and some bottoming indicators with some stronger money flow coming back in. Nice little point to kind of see some bouncing at. I got LBC in the chat this morning. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're having a great day so far. As you can see, we got below that 2,919. Try to range a little bit sideways before we got that stronger move towards the downside here. Plenty of momentum here on the shorter term time frame as well to continue towards the downside here. You are a little bit cooled off. We've got a single bullish divergence here, two reversal signals. Haven't seen our next batch of oversold signals though. Money flow is continuing towards the outflows here on Ethereum. We will kind of have to see if we continue on down to that 2,860 point from that higher term time frame to really get that next little bullish divergence and see if we can find that momentum to push us back towards the upside. If not, you've got some levels a little bit lower to really keep your eye on, and that's that 382 that we were talking about and $2,750. We had Solana requested, so let's take a look at Solana. And I don't have any other alt requests, so maybe we wind the show on down a little bit early. We will see what's going on with some Solana first, though. We did see that nice little rejection off of $140. That was an area we were looking for, and we got that break below 137. We did say we wanted to hold 137 as some support if we wanted to continue that trend towards the upside. You've got extremely red money flow here on the daily, but you're looking nice in bottoms. You will kind of have to see if you can get that shorter term time money flow to start coming back in, buying up Solana, and give us that pushback above 137.12. We do have an area as a shorter term time frame support line to kind of keep your eye on. That's 133.37. You see we got that nice bounce off of it the other day. We're looking like we're trying to come back down to it now. Let's take a look at that shorter term time frame here. We did have that 4 hour getting that heavy curvature back towards the downside, quite like the rest of the market, and MACD getting that heavy curvature down. Prime oscillator switching from green to red here as the money flow on that selling pressure has slowed up just a little bit. You are seeing that lack of volume as well. But seeing if we can at least hold that 133, try to find our sideways range here. As you can see, our very strong support is up at 143.14, and we've got our golden pocket coming in as our strong support on the bottom side. Sorry about that. We did get a peak seeker here on the 4 hour, so little bit iffy here, unless you at least see that slow up of both selling pressure and buying pressure. That could give you more of a sideways range and not see those div too hard there. We'll kind of have to see what is going on that hourly here. A little bit cooled off, just like the rest of the market was. Let's get it moved over so you can see that prime oscillator a little bit better. a little bit bottomed here. We're waiting to see if we can find our next little reversal signal to kind of give us that push towards the upside. Money flow has slowed down quite a bit on that buying pressure, as that MACD is also trying to get that cool off. We've got those red candles on the histogram, not really ranging any kind of sideways there on that one now. So really looking like it's getting a stronger curve back down. But if you see that little increase of some buying pressure, you could start to get that sideways momentum coming on in. Does look like you might break below that 0 line there. Let's see what's going on in that 15-minute to see if we've got that continued downside there. After we broke 137 towards the downside, rejected off of it, we got that break from green money flow to some red money flow here. So seeing some selling pressure this morning here on some Solana. We are in the red here on the prime oscillator as well. Really waiting to see if we find that bottoming point at about 133.40. If not, and we don't find that bottoming there, we've definitely got some better levels towards the downside at about 130.10. So few little bouncing points to kind of keep your eye on there. We will see if we get those bouncings or if things are just going to be a little bit boring and we're going to range below our strong resistance and strong support. As you can see, this midline here has really turned into a point of control in our current range. So really ranging from one side to the other, not seeing a whole lot of volatile movements here just yet. So might be a little bit of a boring day here. What is going on in the chat? Let's see. Won't let me delete. What? Oh, good. What do you got going on in the chat there, LBC? We've got Steve Hickey in the house. Good morning to you. We've got Deborah Saramento in here as well. Good morning. She said, happy Thanksgiving. We'll be going live here on Piper Academy. I've got 2 guests that we'll be bringing on tomorrow. I'll be LBC and CTM. We'll also be having a giveaway. This will be at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Just a nice short show. Wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Maybe play a fun little game so that everyone can enjoy some time with the crypto family before they go spend some time with the real family. So not seeing any other alt requests. So I'm just going to wind the show on down early. We do have several other shows we do here on the Piper Academy. That is that morning market report with Army Piper and OC. That is the place to be if you need the breakdown of that macro data. We've got a lot going on the macro side, as we've been seeing quite a bit of a divergence from our Fed chairs. I'm sure Piper will talk about that just a little bit, looking like we could get that interest rate cut for December, but things are looking quite iffy. We've got LBC asking for some cash. Oh my goodness. Do people still like buy Caspa? Like, that's still a project? I thought it died, honestly. We can take a quick look at some CAS since you want to have some fun here. Caspa. Oh, ooh. Got that push back up towards the platinum pocket there. Let's see if it'll get it switched to the right screen. There we go. Let's get this zoomed on out from the 15-minute. Take a look at that daily. And daily got to move all the way to the bottom side of our fib retracement there. And it is below our very strong support. Has been bouncing off of some fibs. So we got that nice little platinum pocket bounce to the 382. Made a higher low, but made that lower high, and then really lost that golden pocket. Dropped below our platinum pocket here. Not really seeing any money flow. That's the big problem here on Caspa. Even though it is found a nice little bottoming area, it lacks the money flow. Still in a downtrend. Here on the daily, it is in a downtrend. Getting that nice movement towards the platinum pocket though, but platinum pocket coming in as some crazy resistance. That's 5 cents, 5 and some change, so 537 coming in as that very strong resistance. Hourly, getting that toppiness here on that platinum pocket, as you can see. Do have a nice little support area directly towards the downside. That's about 0.488. We'll kind of have to see if that holds all over again, because if it doesn't hold, really continuing that trend would be that break below our lows here. As you can see, we got that movement towards the upside, lower high, strong break towards the downside, movement towards the platinum pocket. Really saw that come in as some resistance, really lower low there. We'll kind of have to see. We're not even really getting towards the platinum pocket here, and you're already starting to see that toppiness. You do have a little bit of hopium here, as that MACD is running a little bit sideways. So if you can get a little bit of money flow, you could get back up towards that platinum pocket, see it try to hold as some support, but I would look for it to come in as some resistance. 15-minute looking extremely ugly as well, but like I said, you do have that support directly below us at 0.488. So I don't know, we'll kind of have to see if it finds its little bit of a sideways range here below the platinum pocket in 0.488, or if it's going to crap to bed all over again. Whew. Really great project, you know. That has been most of the crypto market, and you know, you might have decent utility, but if you're not Bitcoin, it's not really doing too well, because it has been the Bitcoin show, and those Dino tokens have really been getting that move as well. Why crypto YouTube in house? Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Caught me as we're winding the show on down. Jesse asking for someone. Geez, what is Jesse actually username, or is username actually Jesse with just a different tag? So you asking for Libra like username asks for it there. But you know, we did have that announcement. We will be going live tomorrow on Thanksgiving at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. We will be doing a giveaway there. I'm not going to tease the giveaway. I'm just going to say that you're going to want to be there for the giveaway. It is a nice one, and that's why I'm not trying to tease it too hard. So show up and get a little bit of a chance for that giveaway. We will have LBC and CCM there as well. But tune into the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy. We got 3 shows that we do daily. My show every single morning, setting Piper up for that market open and the breakdown of the data. That is 10 a.m. Eastern time every single weekday. We've got Trading with OC at 7 p.m. Eastern time as well. That is the place to be if you like to trade and you like to make money, and sometimes you'll like to hear about some tinfoil hat theories. That is a great place to be and a great place to have fun. But until tomorrow, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Yo, gather round, let's set the stage. Teaching trade terms in a brand new way. MACD, Fibonacci, prime oscillator. Stacking up profits, call me the educator. First up, MACD, you know the vibe. 2 moving averages, we riding the tide. Instagram bars, red and green. Cross above 0, bullish scene. Blue line, cross up, signal, go. Momentum shifts, watch money flow. Divergent spotted, trend my switch. MACD, the truth, never glitch. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks in sight. Trading sharp, keep your game tight up. oscillator pro, that's my god. Smooth RSI, volume inside, money flow included, moves are clear. Strength of the trend, no room for fear. Above 50 zone, strength's legit. Below 50 caution, that's a tip. Overbought signals, time to chill. Oversold signals, by the thrill. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks inside. Trading sharp, keep your game tight. Fibonacci retracement, that's precise. Golden ratio, so nice. Pullbacks mark, watch for support. Extensions target, profits court. Trend lines drawn, connecting dots. Support and resistance, key level spots. Horizontal zones where price might stall. Order block stacking, gotta catch them all. Combine these tools, synergy in play. Stack confirmations, trade that way. Risk manage tight, patience key. Profits grow steady, yeah, that's me. Trade style smooth, yeah, that's my flow. MACD, Fibonacci, oscillator pro. Trend lines drawn, order blocks inside. Trading sharp, keep your game tight. Now you learn the terms, style explained. Market mastered, profits gained. Trade and art, pitch the paint. Level up now, no complaint.
Yeah, wake the hell up. Charts ain't waiting and neither am I. It's BC Pork Corp, and this is Good Morning Crypto. Let's run it. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Yeah, I'm up before sunrise, no snooze on my plays. Whales still dreaming, I'm setting my trays. I ain't here for likes, I ain't here for clout. I'm here for that check when the trend breaks out. I spit blocks, hash rates, halves and dates. Got alpha in my veins, no time for fakes. SEC lurking, but I move like a ghost. Mixing TA and game, call me the host. This my show, this my tone, this my throne. Good morning crypto, I stand alone. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Perpetual swinging, I'm a beast with the size. TA tight like the laces I tie. MACD crossing, I'm pressing that go. And my fib line stretching like it's crypto dope. Ain't no banker ever taught me this wealth. I learned from red days, had to fight for myself. Now I'm dropping fire before the coffee drip. Crypto cooking on its breakfast shift. Every candle's a warning, every flash a test. But I lace up my plays and I trade like the best. We're moons made for legends, not snoozers and sheep. This for the wolves who watch charts while they eat. This for the ones who said crypto's a scam. Now I'm paying my bills with a cold wallet jam. Salute to the grinder, salute to the bold. Good morning to those who ain't buying what they sold. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Wake up, read the charts.